The story of Ruth and Boaz is based on a powerful biblical narrative about loyalty, love, and faith. It begins with a woman named Naomi, who lives in Bethlehem with her husband and two sons. Due to famine, the family moves to the land of Moab, hoping for a better life. However, tragedy strikes when Naomi's husband and both sons die, leaving her and her daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah, widowed. Heartbroken and with nothing left in Moab, Naomi decides to return to her homeland, Bethlehem. She urges Ruth and Orpah to stay behind and rebuild their lives. Orpah eventually agrees and stays, but Ruth refuses to leave Naomi, showing deep loyalty and love. Ruth's famous promise to Naomi becomes one of the most emotional moments in the story. She declares that wherever Naomi goes, she will go, and Naomi's people and God will become her own. This commitment sets the tone for the entire narrative. When Naomi and Ruth arrive in Bethlehem, they are poor and struggling. To survive, Ruth goes to gather leftover grain from the fields, a practice known as gleaning, which was allowed for the poor in that society. Ruth ends up working in the field of a wealthy and kind landowner named Boaz. From the beginning, Boaz notices Ruth's humility, hard work, and devotion to Naomi. He treats her with respect and ensures she is safe while working. Boaz learns about Ruth's story, how she left her homeland and chose to care for Naomi. He is deeply impressed by her character and begins to show her kindness by allowing her to gather more grain than usual. Naomi realizes that Boaz is a relative of her late husband, making him a kinsman redeemer. This means he has the right to help restore their family's future, including possibly marrying Ruth. Following Naomi's guidance, Ruth approaches Boaz in a respectful and symbolic way, asking for his protection and support. This moment is significant because it shows Ruth's courage and trust. Boaz is honored by Ruth's request and agrees to help, but there is a complication. Another man is a closer relative and has the first right to redeem Naomi's family property and marry Ruth. Boaz acts with integrity and follows the proper legal process. He meets with the other relative in front of the town elders and presents the situation. Initially, the man agrees to redeem the land. However, when Boaz explains that marrying Ruth is also part of the responsibility, the man declines, fearing it could affect his own inheritance. This clears the way for Boaz to step in. Boaz officially becomes the kinsman redeemer and marries Ruth. Their union is not just about love, but also about restoring Naomi's family line and securing their future. Naomi, who once returned to Bethlehem feeling empty and hopeless, now finds joy again. Ruth and Boaz's marriage brings new life and hope into her world. Ruth eventually gives birth to a son named Obed. This child becomes very important in biblical history, as he is the grandfather of King David, linking Ruth and Boaz to a greater legacy. The story ends on a hopeful and meaningful note, highlighting themes of loyalty, kindness, faith, and redemption. It shows how even in times of loss and hardship, goodness and love can lead to a beautiful new beginning.